What is going on, everybody? Welcome to YouTube Live. Man, I gotta say, I've done these before, but this is kind of nerve-wracking for me. I gotta admit that. Like, it shouldn't be nerve-wracking, but it kind of is. I gotta fix something. Hold on, wait with me. We're gonna start. Welcome to the special edition. This is a YouTube Live. Santos says NFL 2021 season preview. I'm going to give you guys my picks for the season, Super Bowl picks, division winners, wild card teams, the whole thing. We're going to get into it for the 2021 season. I got to fix something. Give me one moment. All right, we're back. So I think that looks better. So welcome, everybody. Definitely real excited to be here. 2021 NFL season preview. You could see people, you could see the talking heads on ESPN talking, this one is great. Look, I can't stand these shows, right? These shows drive me nuts. Like, people want to see the games. People can't wait. Like, people have been talking about these games for months, right? They've been talking about the season. They did the combine. They analyzed, they overanalyzed until we're blue in the face. And so none of it it's whatever. It's not necessary, really. None of it is necessary. What's good, Smooth? What's going on, baby? We into it right now. We here. We're gonna start it out. We're gonna get it going. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for being here. We're gonna get into it. I think so. What I wanted to do is I wanted to start with the NFC. So the NFC is interesting because it's almost like it's a competitive conference. The NFC is a very, very competitive conference. I think that it's weird. There's not a lot of juggernauts at the top of that conference, but it's going to be a lot of fighting. There's going to be a lot of inner fighting for the divisions. So thank you. Yeah, I see you saying, let's go Giants. I see that. Shout out to the Giants fans out there. We'll get into it. Look, I'm very objective. I'm going to be very objective with this preview. As you guys can see right here, I'm donning a New York Jets hat. I am a diehard New York Jets fan. Anybody who knows me knows I bleed green and white. I love the Jets. That's my team. But with that being said, I am going to be objective. And I'm going to give you guys my straight up take of what I feel, what I think is going to happen, the whole thing. And so, yeah. So we'll talk about it. Let's start with the NFC. So we're going to start with the NFC East. The NFC East is interesting. See, first of all, just to get it, let's start with the conference real quick. Just a quick note a side note on the conference. Obviously, Drew Brees is retired. He's gone. So the Saints are going to be a different type of team. Talking about the NFC now. I'm going to get into the East in a second. And obviously, Tampa Bay retooled real nicely. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're loaded. They're absolutely loaded. But to get into the divisions, the NFC East, I think the New York Giants have a very good, legitimate shot at winning this division. The New York Giants have an opportunity right now. First of all, they retooled with weapons. I love their weapons. I love their draft. I love that Saquon is back. We need to see him healthy. And we need to see him reintegrated into this offense. I like what they're doing. I love their coach. I think the New York Giants have that part resolved. Their defense is going to be, this season, their defense will be a top 5 or top 10 defense. Their defense was very good last year. Leonard Williams really reap havoc last year, came into his own. Kudos to him, to Leonard Williams. Obviously, New York Jets fans know him very well. He was never even half that player with us. So you guys got the good version of him. Kudos to you. Great player. With that being said, the NFC East with the Giants, I think they can compete for that division. If you ask me, though, honestly, my instinct, and this is going to surprise some people, I think the NFC East is going to be won by the Washington football team. I believe that. I know it's now. I'm not saying the Giants don't have a shot at it. They're going to be right there. I think the Giants are going to have a chance at the playoffs. To me, what's going to hold the Giants back is their offensive line and their quarterback. I don't trust their quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong. It could go either way. I think if their quarterback plays well and their offensive line is legit, Giants have the most talent in that division. What's making me choose the Washington football team to win that division is Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is a very good defense. Washington was one of the least penalized teams in that people are sleeping on them. People are disrespecting Washington. Washington was very underrated last year. They have a ton of weapons. They're back again this year in that system. Ron Rivera is a tremendous defensive coach. The Washington football team will have a top 5 defense in the league. Washington's defense is very good. They got playmakers everywhere. That defense is going to carry them. Plus, they got an upgrade at quarterback who we all know too well. Ryan Fitzpatrick can be either crazy good or he can stink. The best chance the Giants have this year is if their defense shows up. If their offensive line and their quarterback play is up here, and if Fitzpatrick stinks, then it's your division. But I think, gun to my head, I got Washington in first place, and I got the Giants in second place, right below them by a game or so, give or take. But that can be interchangeable. The number 3 team I have is the Cowboys. Cowboys will finish third just because they have the talent to do that, but they will be the typical Cowboys. They would not make the playoffs. There will be a lot of tension. We don't know the story with Dak. We don't know the story with Dak. Dak is a guy who can be really good and he can stink. And also his health is very much in the air in a year that he's trying to get paid. I got to go with them in third, and fourth will be the Eagles. Eagles will finish in last place. Jalen Hurts at the helm. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. Jalen Hurts is nothing to go crazy over, ladies and gentlemen. I know everybody wants to hype Jalen Hurts. He's got a great heart. He's got great ability. Let's see what he is. He can prove me wrong. I think Jalen Hurts is a talented quarterback. I just don't see him being enough to make a difference. That Eagles team is going to be awful. They're going to be bad. They might compete a little bit, win 4 or 5 games max. They're not winning that many games. I think the NFC East is won by 10 games. I think 10 wins gets the division. So if the Giants could win between 9 and 10 games, I think they have a good shot at the division. Although I did say Washington football team probably wins at 10 and 7. So that's the NFC East. The NFC North will be won by Green Bay. This division is going to be tricky because I do think Minnesota's better than it's been before, and I do think Chicago has good talent around them. They re-signed their they have Allen Robinson back. They have the other I forget the name of the other receiver. I had him on my fantasy team. The other receiver, they brought him back. So to me, they're intact, but they have a rookie quarterback. So to me, anytime you bring in a rookie quarterback, that's tricky. Plus, we don't know when he's going to play. As of right now, I know that Dalton's going to play to start the season. But anytime you have a situation where the quarterback situation is not steady, that scares me. So the Bears aren't going too far this year. I think that's Green Bay's division to win. Green Bay will win at about 12 games. I think Green Bay has the best team in that division. I don't love their defense, but I think their offense and Aaron Rodgers makes up for it. And, I agree with you, Smooth. Packers win probably 12-13 wins for sure. Give me Green Bay in that division. The other teams, Minnesota, Chicago, and Detroit, they'll be a non-factor in that division. I think Minnesota can be competitive. I think Minnesota has a shot. They might win 9 or 10 games. Bears are very tricky, very difficult to predict. Because again, you got Andy Dalton starting the damn year. You don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like predicting teams that their quarterback position is in flux. That scares me. So for that reason, if anybody's trying to make educated guesses or bets or whatever you may be trying to do, stay away from Chicago. I don't think that's the right team to go with. And Detroit is a dumpster fire. So Detroit will be lucky to win 3 or 4 games. I mean, they're never good. They have a decent draft, but they're just not, I know they made that trade. Wow, they got Jared Goff. I mean, Jared Goff stunk before. You think Jared Goff is going to be good with lesser talent? Yeah, okay. No good. So let's go to the NFC South. NFC South is Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is so loaded with talent. You might as well give them the division now. No other team is going to be able to compete with them. Don't give me the Saints. Don't give me Carolina. Don't give me Atlanta, certainly. Tampa Bay will win 12 or 13 games on the strength of them coming back with their whole team intact. They have a world full of talent. They have the talent on the offensive side and the defensive side. Tampa Bay is probably, if you asked me, the most complete team in the NFC is probably the Buccaneers. And they brought everybody back from last year. Good luck with that. Tampa Bay wins the NFC South, and by a good margin, at least by 2 games. New Orleans, I think, has a shot at a playoff because they still have that talent. But Jameis Winston scares me. So, yeah. Tampa Bay 14-3, I think that's safe to say. Now, New Orleans could be interesting. I have New Orleans going into the playoffs this year because I think that even though they don't have Drew Brees, you got to remember they still have the coach. Sean Payton is a good coach. They still have their offensive nucleus, and they still have a pretty good defense. I think the difference is because remember, they won a bunch of games without Drew Brees last year. They don't depend on Drew Brees like they used to. And now that Drew Brees is not there, they got Jameis. Can Jameis limit the mistakes on the Sean Payton system to get them in the playoffs? I think they win 10 games in that division. That gets it done. I think they get in as a wild card. So the NFC South will have 2 playoff teams this year. I really believe that. With Atlanta, Carolina with Darnold, they're going to be a funner team to watch. Let's see what McCaffrey does when he's back, see if he's healthy. They got nice weapons on that team. I like their weapons. I think Carolina has I like their coach, Matt Rule. I think Matt Rule is a very solid coach. And in that division, I think they should be able to win some games with the exception of Tampa. I think Tampa Bay is just going to smoke everybody. As a Jeff fan, I'm interested in seeing, to be honest with you, I'm interested in seeing what Sam Darnold does. Part of me is going to be watching. I'm going to be paying a close attention to Carolina because I think Carolina is much improved with talent, and I do believe that they are going to win some more games than they did last year. So that will be interesting. And then Atlanta doesn't have enough time. They're still rebuilding. They'll be lucky to win 5 or 6 games. I don't think Atlanta's a factor in that division at all. NFC West. NFC West to me is probably the most competitive division in all of football. You could make the legitimate argument for 3 out of the 4 teams to win the division. I don't know how popular this is or unpopular this is. I have the Rams winning this division this year. The NFC West will be won by the Los Angeles Rams. I like that they picked up, you see, they have the former quarterback, Matt Stafford, former Detroit Lions quarterback, Matt Stafford. I think Stafford is going to be rejuvenated under this coach, Sean McVay, excuse me. Jesus, Timothy McVeigh, that's a bad guy. No. Sean McVay, under Sean McVay and that offense with that nice defense that they have, I think the Rams could win 11, 12 games and win that division. I think the Rams are the team to beat in that division. That's my pick for the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams. The second team in that division that I think is going to make the playoffs is going to be Seattle. I think Seattle still with Russell Wilson, with Pete Carroll and company. They're so well coached. They're so disciplined. They have a very good offense. I still don't love their defense. Their defense leaves a little bit to be desired, but I do think they'll be a little improved on that side of the ball. I think Seattle, as long as they have Carroll and Russell Wilson, they're going to be a factor. I like them as the second team coming out of that division in the playoffs. San Francisco, to me, is going to take a big hit. I don't like them in that division. I don't like their quarterback. I've never liked Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see the deal with him. He's regressed. He's not as good as he was when he first came in the league. I do expect San Francisco to have a very good offense again, a decent offense, at least with that running game and that strong offensive line. But I expect them to take a few steps back again. And I do predict that at some point later on this year, you will see the kid come in to replace Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance. So you will see him at some point, probably past week 8 or 9. You will see Trey Lance in a game at some point this year. I don't think that's going out on a limb. So I got the Cardinals. So basically, I have the Cardinals finishing ahead of San Francisco. So I don't think San Francisco is going to be great. I think they can be solid. San Francisco and the Cardinals will round out that NFC West. So, yeah, 100%, bro. Like, yeah, I agree. Trey Lance will be starting by mid-year. He's always injured. Garoppolo's always hurt. He's always hurt or he stinks. I don't like Garoppolo. I don't think Garoppolo is that good. I don't. I never have. I thought he was a product of a good system when he was in New England. He was well coached. And I don't think he's that great. So to recap the NFC West, the number one and number 2 teams, I got Tampa as my number 1 in that conference, and number 2 would be Green Bay. So then I got NFC East is Washington, NFC North is Green Bay, NFC South is Tampa Bay, NFC West is the Rams. My 3 wildcard teams are as follows. First wildcard is the Seattle Seahawks. Second wildcard is the New Orleans Saints. And the third wildcard will be the New York Football Giants. So that will be those are my picks to get in the playoffs. So NFC will be Washington, Giants, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Rams, and Seattle. So that's 7 teams because remember, they changed the format. So there's 7 teams get in each conference. Cardinals. I said no, Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals will be in this year. I don't. I could be wrong. I like Seattle this year over the Cardinals, but I don't think the Cardinals have a lot of defense. Their defense is not that good. I think offensively they're solid. So my teams were the Rams, Seattle, Tampa, New Orleans, Green Bay, Washington, Giants. Those are my 7 teams in the NFC. So let's go with the AFC now. The AFC East will be won by the Buffalo Bills. Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills are so stacked. They are so well coached. First of all, I love their coach. I think their coach is tremendous. I like Josh Allen, who I drafted as my fantasy quarterback. He's my fantasy quarterback. I love Josh Allen. I think he's a tremendous quarterback. I love what he's doing right now. So the Buffalo Bills will be there. They made some upgrades. They drafted some defense. I want to see them play and see how they do in that team. I think Buffalo, what cost them last year is if you notice this time last year, since they bolstered their offense, I think they left their defense a little bare last year. So their defense wasn't as good. But this year, maybe they may have done enough to bring. They drafted some nice pass rushers, and they drafted some guys who I think will help them. And let's see if that makes a difference to make Buffalo's defense good again. Because Buffalo was a defensive team before last year. So let's see if their defense catches up to make them a factor again this year. They were missing defense. That's why they fell short. but I think they're going to be right back at it again. So Buffalo will win 13 games. They'll win the division. Number 2 will be the New England Patriots. All right, mark this down because I'm going to say this clearly. The New England Patriots will make the playoffs this year. They will win 10 games with Mac Jones. They have a 2 tight end system. They revamped their offense. They added some defense. Now, I know these names don't jump out at you, but they are going to be a well-coached machine. Mac Jones is being brought along slowly but surely under Bill Belichick. He's going to use his bag of tricks. Ladies and gentlemen, the New England Patriots will be back in the playoffs again, finishing second in the AFC East. Number 3 will be the Miami Dolphins. I like what they've done in recent years. They accumulated draft picks. The Miami Dolphins have gotten better. They've continued to build. I don't like their defense. They still don't have enough defense. They're not a tough enough team yet. And plus, I'm not sold on Tua yet. If Tua takes that next step in his development, because remember, the Dolphins got running backs and they've got wide receivers and they got a decent line. They have an offense. But now Tua's got to take that next step. Tua was up and down last year, understandably so. If the Dolphins, yes, they did. Yes, I agree. You see, it's interesting what you said. Okay, that's good. See, Smooth said they made a lot of offseason additions. If Miami had a better quarterback, they'd be better than the Patriots. I agree. The Miami has better personnel, and I like Brian Flores as a coach. The question mark in Miami is going to be, this is going to be the factor. This is why I like New England slightly above Miami, because of the coach, which is Belichick, although I do like Brian Flores. But the coach and that combination of coaching because of the coach, Belichick is going to make a difference with Mac Jones over Brian Flores and their staff with Tua. Unless Tua goes crazy and makes this crazy leap. If Tua makes a crazy leap and just develops like this craziness like we think he could, he will be the X factor for Miami leapfrogging New England. It's going to be close. I think Miami and New England will be separated by about a game. It's going to be close. I give the slight edge to New England, with Miami rounding out the top 3. So Miami will win about 9 games, 8 or 9 games in that 3rd spot. 4th place, I got my beloved New York Jets. Everybody talking about, everyone is talking about, when it comes to the Jets, everyone is talking about Zach Wilson. They're falling in love with Zach Wilson. He's the next this. Tony Romo talking about, he reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. And you know what? As a Jet fan, a lot of Jet fans are like, yeah, we found our guys. No. Listen to me, okay? On behalf of all Jets fans everywhere, because I was waiting for this segment to say this. Pump the brakes on Zach Wilson. Pump the brakes. I don't want to hear about Zach Wilson yet. Can he play a game? Can he play a football game first? I don't want to get excited with Zach Wilson. I'm holding off. I'm scared. I am a Jet fan. I have suffered forever, my whole life. Okay? I need to see him play first against NFL first-string defensive players, not against third-stringers or fourth-stringers that are going to be playing in freaking arena football in a year from now, whatever, or the CFL, Canadian Football League. No. So I like what I've seen about Zach Wilson. The Jets will be a better team this year than they've been in a while. That doesn't mean they're going to be great. I like Robert Saleh. I like the new coach. I like the new offensive line, right? I like the weapons. I like the draft. Look at this. The Jets actually have skill players. Holy crap. What a concept. Throwing to the tight end, throwing to the wide receiver, running the ball. What a concept. I'll tell you what. I am not sold yet. Let them play. I'll say this. Jets will be improved. Jets will win 6 or 7 games. They'll be a pain in your ass. They will be a spoiler team this year. Zach Wilson will have ups, he will have downs, but he's a rookie quarterback. The Jets defense is Swiss cheese. That secondary is horrible, and they have like 1 million injuries on the defensive end. For that reason, Jets will finish last in the AFC East. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. I got to call it like I see it. There will be improvement. Jets will have to make moves in the offseason to make that next step next year. No playoffs for the Jets this year, but there will be improvement. I know. I get scared when, as a Jet fan, when I hear the quarterback getting hyped up, I get scared because that makes me look the other way. It's like, oh crap, I can't get hyped about this. You know what I mean? So the AFC North, it's going to be a tough battle, man. I'm telling you, AFC North is going to be an interesting and fun division. I like watching the Browns. I love watching them. I'm happy for their success. Excuse me. I need to see more from Baker before I buy the Browns. For that reason, in Baltimore, I'm going with Baltimore. NFC North will be won by Baltimore. I love their quarterback. I love Harbaugh. I love their offseason. I love their draft. Baltimore wins the AFC North. And by a convincingly, by at least a game or two. Baltimore wins that division. Number 2, wild card team, Cleveland. Browns have must-see talent, especially in the offensive end. I don't know if they made enough impact on the defensive side. That was their Achilles heel last year. Can they pick it up on the defensive end? If the Browns can pick it up on the defensive end, and if Baker Mayfield can take his game to another level, the Browns can be a borderline Super Bowl team. But with that said, I don't see it. I think Baker will be just as good as he was last year. I don't know if he has another level he can climb. I don't like the Browns defense, but on their offense, their coaching, and the way their bravado alone, they will make it to the playoffs again. Back-to-back playoff years for the Browns. Yeah, agreed, Smooth. For sure. Ravens winning that division and Browns will make the playoffs. I'm with you 100%. Third place will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for change in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been languishing in this mediocre stuff forever. Like last year, people got caught up in their fast start. I knew that it wasn't sustainable. They played nobody. They had a cupcake schedule last year when they started out undefeated for a good part of the season, and then with a one-loss team past the halfway point of the season. It was all fake. Big Ben ran out of gas. Big Ben is washed up. He's not what he used to be. They haven't made enough changes in Pittsburgh. Their defense is still not terrible. I like their defense a little bit, but they're just not. They're all over the place. Their offense is not great. They're weak at quarterback because Big Ben is already washed up. Pittsburgh misses the playoffs. They finished third. Pittsburgh is not a good team this year. They'll be mediocre at best. Cincinnati is a dumpster fire. I got to see Joe Burrow. I got to see those. Now, they have pieces. I like their offensive pieces. I don't know about their coach yet, Zach Taylor. Don't know what the hell he is yet. We'll see what he does with a little more talent, a rebuilding team. They're still rebuilding. Cincinnati, not a factor yet this year. So in the NFC North, I got 2 teams coming out the division, and in the AFC East, I got 2 teams. So those are your 4 playoff teams so far. Buffalo, New England, Baltimore, and Cleveland. AFC South. This has got to be Tennessee's division to win, no? I mean, you would think. Tennessee is so well coached. I love their coach. They have Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in the sport. Obviously, Tannehill has taken his game to another level since he's been there. I like their team. I don't think they've made enough upgrades really to make them, they haven't done a lot of moves to make you think that they're going to make a significant leap. I just like them better than the other teams in that division. That AFC South is a very wishy-washy division. Not a great division. Not a lot of sexiness in that division. Sexy teams, nothing like that. For that reason, Tennessee gets the division done with 10 games. 10 wins gets it done. The second team in that division, number 2, that division will be Indianapolis. Indianapolis, yeah, they got Carson Wentz. He seems to be rejuvenated over there. based on what everybody says. We'll see. I've never been a big Carson Wentz guy, but I do acknowledge he has talent. With their coach there, Frank Reich, he likes those kind of quarterbacks. Frank Reich is a very good coach working with quarterbacks. He might get the most out of him. Indianapolis could scratch 8 or 9 wins at the very most. Not a super great team. They'll be all right. They'll be there. Number 3, believe it or not, will be Jacksonville. Jacksonville and Houston will be fighting for the cellar. Just what can you say? They drafted the quarterback that I wanted, Trevor Lawrence. But I think Trevor Lawrence will be great. Don't pay attention to all the crap that you've seen. They're rebuilding. They have not Nick Saban. I was going to say Nick Saban. Jesus. Urban Meyer at the helm. His first year in the NFL. Let's see what he does. There's going to be a lot of growing pains in Jacksonville. 3 or 4 games max they'll win. They have some talent. They lost their running back that they drafted. Their star running back that they drafted from Clemson, Travis Etienne. That's a big loss. Let's see what they do with Jacksonville. But Jacksonville and Houston has just been, forget it, skin down bare. I don't care whether Watson's there or not. I don't know if that's going to really make a difference. They have nothing around them. I predict that Watson will get traded at some point. I just don't know where. I had said Miami. I thought I made a crazy outlandish prediction. I thought he could end up on Miami. I'm not sure because I don't know if the Dolphins believe in Tua. So I think that's a sneaky good place for him to end up is the Miami Dolphins. I would look out for that. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm just putting it out there. As a Jet fan, I don't want him in Miami, but I think it's possible. So that's where we're at with that team. AFC West, look, this is no surprise. AFC West, Kansas City, all day, every day. Kansas City's winning 14 games. Just book it. They're scary good. Mahomes has got to score to settle. He's going to come back angry, motivated off the Super Bowl loss. Kansas City all the way. They're going to come out of that division by a lot. They're going to smoke everybody. They just are. They're just going to come out angry. Their defense is going to be good. I think their defense is going to be solid. Yeah, if Watson goes to Miami, watch out. I agree with you because they got scary talent. Watson will elevate that team. Absolutely. If Watson were in Miami, he elevates the Dolphins, no doubt. I would, if Watson were on Miami, I'd have to change my prediction and say that Miami probably challenges for the wild card. But I don't think that's the case right now, though. Like I was saying with the AFC West, Oakland will finish at about 9-8. I like what they've built in Oakland. I like Derek Carr. Obviously, their tight end is all-world tight end. They are a good team. Their defense has been up and down, but I think Oakland is the second team from that division to make the playoffs. They will win about 9 games, but 9-10 games. Kansas City's going to whoop everybody, though. I just see that. San Diego is going to be a competitive team, especially with Justin Herbert. They're not going to compete for any playoff spot yet, but they're going to be fun to watch with Justin Herbert at the helm and those weapons they've got. San Diego's going to be a nice, sneaky, good, decent team. But again, they're going to finish third. Denver will round out the 4 in the cellar. I just don't like Denver. I don't think they have enough playmakers yet. Their defense is whatever it is. It's mediocre at best. They're not a great team. Denver's not a great team. And they round out the 4. So let me give you my 7 playoff teams for the AFC. So we got Buffalo, New England, Baltimore, Cleveland, Tennessee, Kansas City, Oakland. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the 7 teams. So Buffalo will win the AFC East. AFC North will be Baltimore, the Ravens. AFC South will be Tennessee. The AFC West will be won by Kansas City. I mean, hello. And then the wild card teams will be New England, Cleveland, Oakland. Yeah, and Oakland. Those are the 3 wild card teams. So that's the way I have it. That's the way I see it. Now, I think Mahomes comes back this year, has a huge year, and wins the MVP. Patrick Mahomes will reclaim his throne as the best quarterback in the league. Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. The NFC, well, let's go to the playoffs real quick. The NFC will be the NFC championship game to get to the Super Bowl will be the Rams versus the Bucs. I like the Rams this year. I think the Rams are solid. They're good defensively. They're good offensively. They got an upgrade at quarterback, and they're well coached. I like the Rams versus the Bucs, with the Bucs going back to the Super Bowl again. So I like the Rams and the Bucs. Kansas City, Baltimore. It's going to be a tough one. I like Kansas City and Baltimore in the AFC. So it will be Kansas City, Baltimore battling for that Super Bowl spot, with Kansas City whooping everybody. Kansas City gets back to the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl again. Super Bowl champion in 2021, the Kansas City Chiefs. They will go up against the Bucs in a repeat of last year's Super Bowl. That's my picks. Those are my picks for the 2021 season. So what do you guys think? What is your take? Curious to know. And again, I will leave this up on the channel, the Santos Says Podcast channel. Make sure you guys check me out. Instagram, Santos Threads Shop, the whole thing. And Chiefs Bucs Super Bowl. Yeah, man, that's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams scare them. I like what I saw from the Rams. Don't sleep on the Rams. Rams got a lot of talent. I do like the Rams instead of I know people like the Packers. I think the Rams are a better team. So I do think the Rams will win, will give the Bucs a scare. Don't be surprised if the Rams knock off the Bucs, but I already picked the Bucs. So the Bucs against Kansas City, with Kansas City winning the chip, bringing the championship back to Kansas City, Missouri. Ravens have a shot. Yes, Ravens have a shot, which is why I had them in the AFC title game. So I did, again, my title games are Kansas City and Baltimore in the AFC. And in the NFC, I got the Rams and the Bucs. I know the Rams is not a popular choice, but that's who I that's the wild card. I'm throwing them out there. I like them. I like the Rams team this year. I really do. But again, it's going to be a repeat of last year's Super Bowl. I hate to tell you all, folks, but that's what it's going to be. I like the Ravens. You hit it right there. If Lamar improved, see, what Lamar's biggest problem was once he was down by 2 scores, 3 scores, that was it. You couldn't. Lamar Jackson was not the kind of quarterback that can come from behind. Can he change that? If he can do that, if he can show that he's able to play a different style of football when he's behind, that he can actually drop back in the pocket and make throws with precision, in these instances, Baltimore will have a hell of a shot to make it to the Super Bowl. That's going to be the difference right there. That could be the difference in a game between Kansas City and Baltimore, because Baltimore's loaded. Baltimore's got all kinds of talent, and they have a hell of a coach too. So Baltimore, listen, the Ravens have a shot, 100%, 100%. So look out for them. But those are my top 4 teams in the entire NFL. I'm calling it now. Bucs, Rams, Kansas City, Baltimore. Those are the ones I think are going to be the best teams. So what do you guys think? Let me know. And, of course, as I said, the New York Football Giants will be back in the playoffs as a wild card team. That's what I believe. Although I don't love Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones scares me. He just does. And that offensive line. If your O-line, if the Giants' offensive line and Daniel Jones play well, the Giants are going to be they're going to be a pain in the ass to beat, because they have good weapons, and their defense is very good. Scary good defense. I like their pass rush. I think their pass rush is decent. I think their linebacker play was decent. I think their secondary was pretty good. So I think the Giants will have an interesting season if everything goes right. But that's where we're at, man. And then we're gonna welcome back the Patriots into the playoffs, which I hate the Patriots as a Jet fan, but as a Jet fan, all I want to see is progress. I'm not delusional. I don't think that the Jets are gonna be great. I don't. I want to see progress. If I can see progress as a Jet fan, if I can see the Jets make progress, that's all I need. I don't blame you never being a Daniel Jones fan. Who would be? The way he's played. But we'll see. We'll see what he is. He's got one more year. This is it. If the Giants if they miss the playoffs, and if they have a bad year, rest assured, the Giants are going to rebuild. You can just kiss the Giants goodbye. If they have a bad year, they're going to blow the whole thing up. Gettleman's gone. Daniel Jones is gone. Like, the whole thing is gone. Like, even probably Barkley will be gone. Everybody will be gone. So get used to that. So be ready if that's the case. Thanks, Smooth, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. It was nice having you in here. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for listening, for watching. Till next time, I'm going to